Welcome to a video entitled File System Formats. In this video, I just want to go over the 5 basic system formats that you may encounter on the exam and just make sure that you can keep them straight in your mind because you will see these in various forms. The first one is CDFS. That stands for CD-ROM File System. Now you can probably guess what this is used for, and you would be correct if you chose. It is a read-only system designed to be used with media like CD-ROMs, DVDs, this sort of thing. Next, FAT, the FAT or the File Allocation Table System. Now this is an old system. It's only supported in the Windows operating system for backwards compatibility only. It allows upgrades from previous versions of Windows, but the farther we go with our versions, the more you don't even see FAT mentioned. FAT had a lot of limitations. It was designed for drives smaller than 2 gigabytes, but at the time we were using FAT on a day-to-day basis, 2 gigabyte drives were almost unheard of. So we're going way back, into the late 80s, early 90s for FAT. Now FAT32 was introduced with the Windows 95 OEM Service Release 2, and it made a lot of promises, and it was really cool at the time. It improved on a lot of the limitations of FAT, but it still only had a volume size limit of 32 gigabytes. And that was problematic because we quickly eclipsed that with our drives, and so FAT32 got left behind. Now NTFS, the New Technology File System, is the standard for Windows Server operating systems. It provides security, disk quotas, encryption, compression, all sorts of things. You can go over 200 terabytes on your volume sizes. You can have a 16 terabyte maximum file size, virtually unlimited for what we're doing with computers nowadays. And watch for it on the exam. You're going to get a lot of questions. It's usually going to be NTFS as the correct answer when you need security and so forth. Now there is a new player in the market in Microsoft being introduced in Windows Server 2012 on the server product, and that is REFS. Now this thing is so new that I'm seeing it both ways all over the place out there, even in Microsoft's writings as lowercase REFS or uppercase or lowercase EFS. So seeing it both ways, you could see it that way on the exam. This is the Resilient File System. This is compatible with NTFS, but it's the newest and the latest, and it improves on certain aspects of NTFS. One of the biggest being it is self-healing, meaning it avoids corruption in the way that it organizes and manages data on the disk. Keep this in mind for the exam. It was designed in conjunction with storage spaces. It really concentrates on resiliency. It does have a couple of limitations. It can't be used to boot an operating system and things like that. But on the exam, when you're talking about anything that's complex with storage spaces, with storage area networks and so forth, REFS may be the system to choose. We'll talk about REFS a lot more later on in the course, but I want you to see these file systems in one place. Make sure that you can kind of sift through the question and make sure that you're providing the correct answer on the exam when it comes to file system formats.